Or we get involved in people pleasing on the job. Whether it be our clients, whether it be our employers, whether it be our coworkers. We get caught up in that and it wears us out. Chasing the expectations of the boss, of the client. Chasing the expectations of our friends and our family, the people we come into contact with at work. Chasing those expectations, trying to meet those quotas can wear you out. They're not in and of themselves wrong. Please hear me. There has to be structure for a business to work. But God is trying to give us new eyes to see our role in that work. Someone said purpose is fuel. Pressure is fire. One strengthens you, the other burns you out. You ever felt burnout? Yeah. But you keep going because you have to. Have a few blowouts along the way, then you keep going. But when you have the blowouts, it affects everybody else around you. Sometimes it blows you right out of a job. Jesus worked with boundaries. In Mark 1, 35 through 37, again, Jesus is getting up early in the morning while it's still dark. He left the house, went off to a solitary place where he prayed. But don't miss this. Simon and his companions went to look for him. And when they found him, they exclaimed, "Everyone's looking for you." What does that translate into? What are they asking him to do? Anybody? Be present. What else? You got work to do. Get out here. Come do it. Jesus replied, "Let us go somewhere else, to the nearby villages, so I can preach there also. That is why I've come." Think about it. Jesus could have healed the entire world with the snap of his finger. Why didn't he? Wasn't his purpose. His purpose was to do the will of God, to make God known, to make disciples who would make disciples who would make the disciples. And that's why we're here today, ultimately. Somebody said sometimes saying no is not selfish, it's Christ-like. Jesus often said no because there were things that needed to be done. And if he didn't do what needed to be done, we wouldn't be here today. If Jesus needed to set boundaries and sometimes say no to one thing in order to do another, shouldn't we? But if we're not connected to the Father, we might be saying no to the wrong things. Yes, ma'am.
Do we not pray at times and say, "Bless this day, O Lord, for this is the day that you..."
Absolutely. Bless this day, O Lord, for this is the day that you have made. Absolutely. Sometimes we do. There's the idea of connecting with God and trying to get on his path, his time schedule, not ours. So read together. This is one of the last ones we got. Reading together. Go. Every single day you have to choose what needs to be done. And it can get overwhelming. Some of you are really good at making a list and say, okay, this is more important than this. I got to do this first. You get a checklist going. That's how you're wired. Other people just go and do and see whatever the next thing is. But boundaries aren't walls. We have to have boundaries in life. And it's important that we learn to do the right things. There can be 10 right things. Right? There can be 10 of them. I got to pick the one that's most important to do at that time. And then the next, which means I have to have wisdom and connect to the Father to figure out what order he wants to put them in. Because God's order and my order are not always the same. Jesus connected to the Father early in the mornings, I believe, to help stay on task, to help sort out what was most important, to stay to his boundaries, and to stay refreshed and renewed. He worked with people and not alone. Some of us like to work with other people. Some of us want to do it all by ourselves because we can. And help is, I don't need help. I can do it. Maybe, just maybe, by getting someone else to help us, we're giving them significance that God wants them to have. Maybe, just maybe, they end up speaking some truth into our life that we need to hear, or we get to speak some truth in their life that they need to hear. And maybe, just maybe, we don't wear out as much because a cord of 3 strands is stronger than 2, which is stronger than 1. We work together. Last one. If Jesus shared, shouldn't we? But don't miss that second word on the second line. Who'd he send out? Some people aren't workers. They're just not. They want something for nothing. They want to consume all the time. And before we start thinking about who in our culture does that, I want to bring it into this room. We want salvation for nothing. We want to hear, well done, good and faithful servant, for nothing. And God's called us to work. And so those that are willing to work, like Isaiah, who says, here am I, send me, which came after realizing he was a lost man among a lost people, and God cleared him and God cleansed him. What did he do? Here am I, send me. And so God sent him. The 12 disciples, God worked in their lives. They saw what he was doing. He gave meaning and purpose and direction to their lives, and they stepped into it. Paul was a tent maker, and while making tents, he spread the gospel. But he sent workers out 2 by 2 because we need help. And we share in this ministry of reaching the world, of reaching our community, of reaching Compass Minerals, the U.S. Post Office, our local schools. You realize this? Every time someone shows a house in realty, and someone's buying a house, you're helping someone plan their future and their hopes and their dreams. And it's an opportunity to engage in such a way that they come to find out somewhere down the road that our hope in our home is with God in heaven. And we're joining the work in Him in helping build His kingdom and His house here. When I go into a dark place like a mine, I don't just go in there as a miner. I go in there as a light in a dark world. When I go into a school system and I'm teaching people math and English and history, I'm not just teaching that. I'm showing people how to love and respect with one another, how to take what they learn and to build and dream and to hope for a future, how they can have a safe place. All of our workplaces have those kind of things. If I'm putting filters into an air conditioner unit, I'm helping people have their clean air, but I'm also learning to have the ability that I can be a filter for God to a lost world. So they can begin to see the world not through the brokenness, but through the love and perfection of Jesus Christ. If I'm a caseworker what do you do, Cheyenne? Probation officer. If you're on probation today, come see her. No, I'm just kidding. Checking in with the probation officer, hey, saying, look, you know what? I'm glad you're keeping up with what you're supposed to be doing, that you're meeting the terms of your probation. And there's going to come a day when you get off of probation. I have the opportunity, you have the opportunity to say, look, we're on probation. God has walked and given us a life, and He's called us into something. And it's nice to come in and check in with each other and find out, hey, where are you growing stronger? Where do you need help? What do you got to do to accomplish this? And how can I help you? See, Jesus carried the world, but he didn't minister alone. So why do we think we have to? Your workplace is your mission field. God's not trying to get you to sign up here and just start going all over the place. There may be times and seasons for that. But the job you have is your mission field. You don't have to add one. You've already got it. You're sitting there cutting people's hair and listening to them talk. I've walked in with my mother-in-law. She's not here this morning. She's not feeling good. I've taken her to many haircuts. And I tell you what, those women will talk all day long about everything under the sun. What an opportunity to be a sounding board and listen. And then have the opportunity to speak back about your own life and the goodness of God in your life. Without being overtly hitting them over the head with the Bible. See, we don't bring Jesus to work. He's already there. So when you get up in the morning and you're going to work, or you're going to the doctor's office, or you're going to school, or wherever it is you're going, understand God's already there. We're just joining him. If we take the time to slow down and realize the greater purpose of our jobs. Do I get a paycheck? Yes. God's providing my daily bread. Do I have access to men and women all around me who need hope? Absolutely. You see, in everyday moments, we respond calm when other people blow up. We refuse to gossip. Learn to become the most encouraging person in the room, because you and I both know everybody at work more often than not is complaining about how bad things are. You don't have to be naive, but we can find ways to look at the more positive side of things versus joining in with the negative all the time. Praying silently with coworkers. If you haven't prayed with somebody at work, I want you to know you're missing out. Not a bad thing against you, but there's something special when coworkers, something about being a child of God, you kind of start standing out to each other. You start praying with and for each other and for your workplace. Noticing the lonely person. That's good, because sometimes it might be you and me that need to be noticed. Showing patience. In a world that doesn't want to show it, the waiter gets your thing wrong. Something breaks at work. Why blow up about it? Why get angry? Show patience. Anybody can get angry and blow up. When you show patience, people want to know what in the world's going on with you. Which just opened the door for you to join God in sharing your why. Speaking hope. Carrying peace in stressful situations and stressful places. Anybody work with stressed out people? Raise your hand. I'm going to raise both hands because I'm a minister. I'm telling you what, y'all are stressed out people. You're stressing me out. But we are. We're stressed out. The why matters in the gospel connection, right? We've been talking for weeks now about Matthew 11, 28, 30 through 30. Come unto me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon me and learn from me. One of the rhythms we have to learn from God is, yes, to have a Sabbath, to have a reconnection with the Father, but to also have a rest for our souls, to spend time with him so that we can step into our workplace. Was Jesus' job really carpentry? John 17:4, he says, I have completed the work you gave me to do, Father. Now glorify me as I have glorified you. Carpentry is what opened the door for what he came to do. In whatever 9 to 5 or shift work you have or 80-hour-a-week job you have, your ultimate purpose there is to bring God into a dark place, to bring him into those places. Be proud of your job. Be proud of what you do. But begin to look at it as an opportunity to bring hope to a world that desperately needs it, to show a better way. We're going to sing a song here in just a second. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and stand. Go ahead, if you're able to. I know we have work. Don't leave here today saying it's okay to hate my job. It's okay not to like it, yeah. But maybe, just maybe, if that's you, you don't like your job, you begin to realize that's really not my job. My job is to be who God called me to be in that place. My real job is an ambassador of Christ. And this job is paying me to do it. How cool is that?